Good morning. It's day 3 of my 72-hour fasting attempt, and I'm preparing my first meal in 3 days. I did have some food within the 72 hours, so I didn't fast the whole time, but I decided I would talk about my experience with it because this is the first time I intentionally fasted. The only time I've fasted technically was being sick, maybe for a couple days. So I just wanted to go over my experience. So I started my fast on Sunday at 6:30 p.m. So that was 3 days ago. Today's Wednesday. And then the next day, Monday at 9:30 p.m. I started feeling not good. I was anxious, I think, plus the lightheaded from fasting. So I decided to eat a banana at 9:30, and at that time it was 27 hours of fasting, which I think is pretty good. Then yesterday around 3, I started feeling lightheaded again, and this time I was shaky. So I'm home alone too, so I was like, I don't want anything to happen. I don't want to pass out. So I had a banana, I had 2 eggs and some date cookies, and I felt better after that. That was between 3 p.m. and 5:30 p.m. I had those things. So by the 3 p.m. mark, I had fasted 17 and a half hours. And then the next day, which was yesterday, I fasted from 5:30 p.m. to 11 a.m. today, which it's 10 a.m. right now. So I plan on eating in an hour because that'll set me at 17 and a half hour fast again. I think that's pretty good for my first attempt at trying to fast for 3 days, especially since I didn't eat full meals when I did eat. I ate just a little bit. So I still feel pretty successful with this, and I definitely would do it again. Some of the cons I experienced was this whole time, even right now, I kind of feel like I'm sick, and not physically sick, physical symptoms. Physically I feel fine. It's more of a mental process, I think. I kept saying to myself I'm sick. And I think that might be because the only time I've ever fasted was when I had to fast when I was sick. So I think just subconsciously my mind thinks I'm sick, but I'm not. So I'm kind of been treating myself like I'm sick. I've just been staying home and laying low, which I don't think is a bad thing, especially for my first time, because I didn't know what to expect with this. But next times I want to kind of just do normal things, or just try to do normal things. Something that I didn't experience this time, but I could foresee it happening in the future. Anytime you have a different way of doing things, that goes against the norm, I feel it's hard to do certain things, with get-togethers and going out to eat. If that were to happen in the future and I'm just happen to be fasting, I could see that being not an issue per se, but just an uncomfortable situation. Oh, everyone's eating and you're just sitting there. So that's not really a problem. It's more of just a thing to get used to, I guess. Because yeah, we celebrate around food. Food is you come together and usually there's food. So, but I think that's something that I could just get used to. So that's not a big deal. That wouldn't keep me from doing it. So the cons. The pros, there's actually a lot of pros for me. During this, I had no food noise. I felt like there was a pit in my stomach for some of it, but it wasn't I need to eat. Usually throughout the day, if I'm bored or just, there's a lull, I will go to the pantry, see what there is to snack on in there. And obviously there was none of that. Like anytime I would have the like split thought of like going to check out what there is to eat, I immediately would like remember like, oh yeah, I'm fasting. Like take that off the table. So that was kind of a relief because anytime those thoughts came up around food, I would remember that I'm not eating and then I'd go do something else. So therefore, I was more creative. I painted yesterday. I took some notes on the program that I did for the core training. I just felt like I had more opportunity to do other things instead of thinking about food, which isn't a bad thing to think about food, but I felt like it was kind of almost obsessive, like, or habitual. So I really liked that I didn't have to constantly think about food. My mind felt clearer and I could focus more on things too. Usually I'll start doing something and I'll like think, I could go for a snack. So then I'll go to get a snack, come back, and then, it's my creative things weren't being interrupted by food. And I really liked that. So the reason I did this initially was because I had chronic fatigue, and I think that maybe some of it had to do with my immune system being dysregulated, like it's working too hard. Because this kind of all started after I had COVID. And pretty much anytime I would have a virus, even before COVID, I would feel like so lethargic and my energy levels wouldn't pick up till like weeks and weeks after being sick, where I felt like other people who got sick would like bounce back. And they'd be like working out and running and doing all these things. And I'm like, I'm so tired. How are you doing this? So I just felt like it took me a long time to get over things, viruses. So part of me was like, well, maybe my immune system is just not coming back down. So I wanted to see if fasting could like reset my immune system. And I did feel less fatigued. Like right now, I don't feel that fatigued. If anything, it's because I haven't been sleeping well, which is hard to say if that's from fasting or just like my normal insomnia, or both, I guess it could be. But yeah, I'm tired because of that, but I'm not tired like mentally as much. And obviously, I really like the health benefits of fasting, like your cells repairing themselves and killing off, like getting rid of bad cells, lower inflammation. There was a lot of seemingly good benefits from doing this. So that was also tantalizing. Yeah, so those were all my pros. So that being said, I definitely, like I said, would do the 72-hour fast attempt again. But I wouldn't attempt it more than once a month because that can like stress your body. So I would do that maybe in a month again, try it again. But I was thinking too yesterday that I think I would benefit from intermittent fasting because I put a lot of energy into food, like preparing food, making sure I have food to eat that's healthy, because I'm pretty particular with what I want to eat. Like I don't really use oils. I'm mostly vegan, but not really. Sometimes I'll eat eggs, sometimes I'll eat chicken, sometimes I'll eat shrimp, sometimes I'll eat salmon. Those are kind of my meats, real meats that I'll eat. But I still like the vegan chicken. I still don't really do dairy. But I do have cottage cheese, low-fat cottage cheese that I'm probably going to put in this first meal. It just sounded good. So once in a while I'll have like dairy, but mostly non-dairy. So if I can condense all of the mental and physical load around preparing and eating meals, then I would have more time and energy for other things and be able to focus on those things and not be like, oh, let me go get a snack. The food noise won't be in the background all day, basically. And I think that would be really helpful for me. Right now, I do kind of do a 6-hour eating window, but I like snack outside of the 6 hours. So I think that if I did a strict 6-hour eating window and cut out the snacking and maybe even work up to just eating in the 6 hours, even that would be beneficial for me, because if I commit to an eating window in my brain, I think that boundary will be helpful, because it'll be a set boundary. It won't just be like, oh, let me try and eat between these hours, but then I like easily go outside the hours because I don't have like a specific goal in mind. So yeah, I'm cooking my meal now. It's 10:15. I'm going to cook some squash, and I'm going to have maybe a couple eggs again, because I was going to have tofu, but I put the tofu in the freezer so it wouldn't go bad while I was fasting. And I didn't forethink this, so it's still frozen. So I think I'll have eggs, squash, and I have some low-fat cottage cheese, and maybe some avocado. I'll add just a tiny bit of this because I don't know how it's gonna sit with me, being dairy, so. I'm ready to eat. Can I help you? All right. I'm gonna put the dog inside. Hey! Get over here. Come on. Get in here. The dog will not obey, so we're gonna have to deal with the heavy breathing. All I put was black pepper on this. I don't normally really season my food because I just love the taste of natural food. But this tastes just like extra good. Extra good.